everyone. Welcome to another casting of our Reddit League Season 3, Week 9 here on the YouTubes. My name is Atomo, and I'm joined, as always, by my co-commentator, Calamity. How are you doing this afternoon, Calamity?
Hello, I'm tired. How are you?
Yeah, your dog was not the kindest to you, not letting you get enough
Nope.
sleep after you were up all night practicing. So I
Mm,
always wake up to you and a bunch of Discord messages about how the practice for the next week has gone and how your scores are improving and whether or not you like the map or hate the map and never want to play it again. So
yes.
it's always interesting morning reading for me. But we've got a pretty good matchup here in Division 3 today. Closed 247 up against Patriots FTW, and it's a top of the table, so to speak, clash. Not exactly next to each other, but both of them in that playoff hunt for promotion, and get a lot to play for. Calamity.
Yeah, both of them have had very similar careers in Reddit League so far. Both of them started last season in Division 4. Both of them got promoted via first place. And now both of them are in the running for promotion again this season in Division 3. Patriots a few points ahead, but not too far yet. Actually looks quite funny because if you just look at the record isolated, Closed actually does have a slightly better record. If we were going by football points. Which now makes me think something about this is wrong. Because if he has 6 wins, he can't have 16 points. That just doesn't work.
Okay, well, let me double check.
Yep. But yeah, other than that, their
Mhm.
stats have been very similar so far this season. You can see Closed with a slightly higher average points rating. Um, and a few more aces as well, which I guess just works together. But yeah, Patriots slightly ahead in terms of position in the table, if what you put in is actually correct.
Well, their positions are correct. Let me double check. Sometimes I end up copying the wrong week. The problem is we're like kind of casting back in time here. Close has 18 points.
Yeah,
I
that
copied
makes more sense.
one line down. That makes sense. So even closer than it looks on paper because the paper is wrong. So
Yes.
only 1 point separating second and fourth place. And a win here for either one of them will pretty much guarantee their at least promotion playoff chance, Calamity, if not direct promotion.
Yeah, direct promotion is a bit too early with Shumi being as far ahead as he is. Um,
Mm.
if Patriots can get a win, he'd be in a pretty decent position because he'd have then more than 3 points towards the next person behind him. Um, but if Closed wins, it sort of just pushes everyone closer together again, which then leaves it completely open for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, so if you just like a fan of close matchups and everything to play for and matches mattering down to the last week, you might be rooting for closed. But if you like a little bit of peace of mind and not having to sweat every week and get a little bit of a break towards the end of the season, Patriots is your man, it seems. So let's take a look at the map they're facing off on. It is week 9, as I mentioned. We are in the islands, a world map themed around, of course, islands. All across the world, big and small, but the author definitely favors small islands. Average score of 14,371. A world map, pretty much anybody's game, right, Calamity?
Yeah, and we've also seen both of them with their Reddit League career so far. Both of them have picked up a lot of great performances. You saw it back there in their stats as well. Both of their best games were pretty high up on a world map. You can definitely, assume both of them will have a good performance. How good it is going to be will depend on the seed we get.
Indeed. Well, with that, let us jump into that seed and see how they do as we get into round number 1. And this is a very interesting location. The umlauts, or the diacritic marks above the O's, points to somewhere in Scandinavia.
Hmm. It's actually quite interesting. When I played this, I did not think this was going to be Scandinavia as soon as I spawned in, because that red soil is
Hmm.
actually not that common there.
Oh, there's a flag for Patriots. Can you see it? No, gotta move a little bit more. Where'd it go? Ooh. Well, not quite the flag he might have hoped it was, but
Well,
might be a
it would
clue.
be a great flag because that is the flag of Åland. So if you
Oh, the
actually knew
state
that,
flag.
yeah, actually knew that, then that would be a great flag. Um, Obviously true for all small state flag or province flags. If you know them, they're great. But if you don't, well, pretty useless.
Yeah, showing off some local pride here. Yeah, very, very interesting looking location for where we are in the world, as you were pointing out before the flag showed up. Both of them trying their best to get to some kind of a major road. But at least in my experience with this area of the world, these small islands are great. The problem is there's very few road signs, and of course there is no big road to get to.
Yeah.
So you have to definitely make the most of all of the information you have, and that flag by far has been the best thing that either of them have seen.
Yeah, usually what you can get to because they're so small is some sort of ferry terminal where there's usually more information
Mm.
regarding what the island's called or stuff like that. And I don't remember which of them, but someone has definitely seen a town name there where you mentioned the umlauts. Um,
Oh, okay. The very beginning, they
yes.
both did. So, and they're actually both in a somewhat similar position now. They might have even left the original island.
Yeah, as always,
They,
if there's small islands in Åland, they are quite disconnected at points where you're not really sure if it's just connected because they basically manually put some dirt there and made it connected, or if
mm,
they were always connected by like small pieces of land.
probably islands, but how true of an island? Some people might debate after seeing this seed. There's a little town name sign as well, and closed guessing around Norway.
Most is not
And
near Norway.
oh, sorry, I thought he was. He was zoomed so far in. I thought I saw something that pointed to Norway, but nope. He has found the island. Indeed, he's found a road that looks like it might fit. With just under a minute left, now it's down to pinpointing that start location as he jumps back. Patriots also looking at some islands, but a little bit further north. But again, not a whole lot of clues. It looks like he doesn't know that province flag, Calamity.
I mean, he is on Åland. Whether he knows that
Oh,
that's the flag he found or not is a different question, but he's in the right place. He's just
yeah.
a couple of islands over.
Okay, yeah. The problem is watching two screens is they zoom in and I don't know where they zoomed in to, and I was like, well, he's not on the right island, so maybe he's not in the right province. But no, right province, wrong island.
Yep.
So my apologies. And close will start us off very nice, getting an ace. Uh, Patriots there in the right area, as Calamity mentioned, but not on the right island. 4,815 points. So already enough points for a win for close. So Patriots has got to close some points in the coming rounds, but definitely doable. Not too big of a gap after round one, Calamity.
Yeah, for sure. The islands always mentioned this every time, basically, but they can just throw you a location that just mixes everything up again. So unless you're more than 5,000 points behind, you've always still got some sort of a chance.
Yep, definitely. As we jump into round number two here. And this looks like, yes, a Japanese island. And for those of you who have watched other division casts here on the channel, this will look very familiar to you, won't it, Calamity?
Yep. This looks exactly like the location we had in the Division 2 seed. And that's because
Oh.
it is.
And actually, Patriots taking the path that we didn't see last time, which is interesting. And yeah, thinking maybe some islands in Okinawa, but Japan is a bit of a tricky beast. There are plenty of islands that are not Okinawa,
Yep.
scattered in all the bays as well as off of Tokyo. So gotta be careful. Just picking one to start off with at least.
And well, you watch through those a bit more. I actually just quickly want to check if both of them played the other division seeds.
Doesn't appear so. At least not as practice, because they would have played before, and neither of them jumped to the island directly. So
Both did. Patriots also did. So maybe just playing at a few days earlier, not quite remembering it. But Closed actually has the island right, so it does
there
seem
we
like
go.
he did remember.
Just took a little bit maybe to jog his memory.
Yeah.
And it does seem like Patriots is, at least by his map movement, is like, I know it's up here somewhere. It's not way south. Maybe he's kind of having a bit of a brain fart and like, hey, it's here, but I know I should know where this is.
There's also
can't quite place
there's
it.
also the potential problem of if you're not playing the other seeds all that focused, he might have just played that seed and walked west the other side, and this time he walked east and didn't realize it's the same place, and that could also happen.
Interesting fact. There's the prefecture Aichiken. That's a really good sign if he can read kanji. Because that's more information than I got until I hit the town. Going up the mountain, just as helpful as going down. So I would suggest, if you learn how to read any of the prefecture's kanji, learn the three big ones: Tokyo, Osaka, and Nagoya, which is in Aichi Prefecture, because they're major cities, and if those pop up, they can definitely be helpful. Obviously, it's nice to know them all, but if you can't, it's a good place to start. So. Yeah, I think it really looks like Patriots went the other direction and is just baffled by the location, while Closed has gone into town and said, oh yeah, I remember this, and is working on his pinpointing.
Yeah, just watching the two of them, it looks more like Patriots is just sightseeing, going through all the nice sights on the island, while Closed is actually figuring out where he is.
Yeah, I don't even know how Patriots got here. I tried to go the other direction on that location because I had it twice.
Yeah.
And I never managed to figure out how he did that.
Yeah, I think I made it to the viewing platform as well, but then just I didn't ever make it there.
Yeah, but he's not too far off, but with 20 seconds left, it looks unlikely that he will find the right island. He is in a bay, which he knows is correct, but in the wrong one. Just a bit too far south there. Unless he moves his pointer at the last second. But
it doesn't look like it.
Doesn't appear so. Another ace for Closed for him, remembering his seed location, and 4,436 for Patriots, who is surely kicking himself for not remembering that location, Calamity.
Yeah, definitely. He did still end up not too far away, but also more annoying for him is probably that he can see that Closed had 2 perfect scores so far, and is still sitting at 10,000 points, so he's not in a good position at the moment.
Yeah, indeed. So that's also one of those things where if you said, hey, this was in another seed, I don't remember where it is, you have to think that your opponents do.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? So most of the time, these players don't have a whole lot of info about what other people have done, but when you get an identical location, it's like, oh man, I bet Closed remembered where that was.
Yeah,
so that's a double whammy for you right there.
There's just that additional pain of knowing that the other person knows, and also probably what doesn't help is what I encounter sometimes when I get repeat locations is that you realize it's a repeat, so you just start thinking, okay, I need to know where this is. Why do I not know where it is? Why can't I find it? And sometimes you actually found a location right when you had it for the first time because you went around and looked for the information. But because it's a repeat location, you sometimes don't do that. And so the fact that it is a repeat location actually stops you from finding it, which can be really annoying.
You spend all your time thinking and map skimming and not actually finding the good clues you found before.
Yep.
Bit of paralysis there, but well, he had dig himself a bit of a deeper hole there, Patriots. But let's see what he can do as we get into round number 3 here. And well, that's a very nice clue. Newport Beach Fire Station right at the start. And he needs to know where Newport is. As the American Patriots, I would expect that you know where Newport is.
There's a few Newports though. I realized that
that is true.
there is
but
Newport News here, which is not where this location is, by the way, just so you're aware.
It's too sunny. It's too sunny for that, Patriots. Come on. Closed though. German, give him a little bit more leeway. There's an American flag just to confirm it.
Yeah, you could definitely remember this this name of a location based on the fact that it is in California, which we played 3 weeks ago, basically.
Exactly. Yeah, it should not be something that's too unheard of. There's the island name that Patriots passed on a little sign right there as well. And Closed, the first one to check out the West Coast. Oh, maybe did I see this a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, there we go.
There's some islands off here.
Patriots as well.
There we go. They checked their East Coast, didn't find it, and there we go. Balboa Island Peninsula. So technically not even an island. There's the island, actually.
Yes.
There's an island as well.
I spent so long looking for the right street names on the Balboa Peninsula before seeing the island.
There we go. I was looking for the fire station almost right away, and so I probably should have looked for more information for where that fire station might be. But
I mean, you say that, I didn't even move in this round. But yeah, I don't think if the fire station stands out that much, but I did find the street names eventually.
There it is, and takes no time for Closed to pinpoint that location, and sure enough, Patriots won't be too far behind him. An ace, so at least he keeps in stride there after round number 3. A quick one, but like you said, you didn't have to move.
Yeah, definitely not the location you want to get if you've got some points to make up.
Yeah, definitely easy. And again, Patriots will be thinking, you know what? I'm pretty sure Closed could do that as well. Yeah. I can't count on getting any points in that round at all. Let's just keep on moving and get into round number 4. And oh boy, a very unique location, but this place can be very hard to pinpoint, Calamity.
Yeah, this is the location you want when you have to make up points.
Yes, yes. Because it is Greenland, if I'm not mistaken. Very obvious, usually. But these islands and little bays are spread out as big as, it feels like, in the same area as Russia. And you got to know which coast you're on, what little bay you're in. And what I was discovered a couple of months ago when I was trying my Explorer Challenge in Geoguessr was I had somebody who used to live in Greenland in my chat, and he told me, oh, there's only X number of locations in all of Greenland. And as we were playing, he's like, wait a minute, there's more. So Greenland is actively being added in the last year or so. So we could even see new locations that if you an older player of Geoguessr may not have seen before. So it'd be a fun place to get. And not ice. Well, there is lots of ice, but Closed knows
ice.
Where we
There's
are.
There's also ice. Yep.
Yep. And trying to find one of the bays, but the town names can be really tricky to find.
Yeah, finding the town name in Geoguessr in the first place, and then finding it on the map. On the map is probably the easier task. The thing is, most of Greenland coverage does have unique vehicles, but there's still a bunch of them that you would have to remember. And that
there's a nuke something on Patriots, and he's thinking he might have found a village or two with that name, but
I mean, it's the capital.
Checking.
So,
yeah, that might not be the most reliable because it just could be a company that has an outpost here.
Yeah.
Greenland is not a country, right? It's an autonomous or semi-autonomous region of Denmark, or however they say it.
Yes.
Right. And there's the Greenland flag.
So we will hopefully never play Greenland as a country in Reddit League.
Oh boy. That would be an interesting one. I think it's practicable though. Like you said, the cars are pretty unique. And there's not that many possible locations, or There are, but there are lots of different like you're in the same town. So once you learn the dozen or so towns you could be in, it will get a lot easier from there. Close, however, taking the opinion that town is not worth it and heads out of town. See if what he can see.
Probably not a great idea in Greenland.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many road signs there are in a place like this, given that most people don't travel by car.
None is probably a good estimation.
Yeah, boat is the preferred method. Patriots getting pretty confident with the capital there.
That's not that confident, it seems.
Yeah, he was for a bit. Closed. Also, still just wandering, looking for something. Looks like he found maybe a landing strip or an airport. But I think he has it right. He is on the opposite coast of Patriots. So either way, one of them's going to get a lot of points and one of them isn't. And it could either get worse for Patriots or it could get really bad for Closed. He is on a perfect game, and way up north there, getting both of them almost equally. Patriots making up that gap, though, Calamity, 3,507 to 3,062.
Yeah, it gets him a few points back, but not enough. I think he was about 800 points behind, so he's
roughly.
He's closing that gap to about half of it. But yeah, neither of them really finding anything there. I still do wonder kind of what the people that did find the right place happened to find.
It might be the meta. It might just be they know Greenland and it was a unique or a kind of common location to get in Greenland. That might be kind of my take on it. But maybe they did see something in Reddit. If you saw something, definitely drop us a hint in the chat, in the messages, and let us know, because we're definitely curious about what you might have seen. As we move on into round number 5, very close, 18,062 for Closed, 17,758 for Patriots. But Calamity, this is not the location you want, because it's going to be obvious right away where this is.
This is almost, not quite as easy as the Newport Beach location, but to a similar level, where you really should just 5k that without too many issues.
Yeah. Alaska.
Yep.
Everywhere. Yeah.
Alaska, Ketchikan already.
Yeah.
That's for Patriots.
Which is a little bit further down along the little string of islands south of the main body of Alaska. And sure enough, he's got the town, but Closed not too far behind. I was actually surprised at the size of the town. It feels bigger than it looks on the map.
Yeah, definitely. I thought the same thing. It actually doesn't look that small on the map either, but you actually have to zoom in quite far for it to show up, which is what surprised me.
I thought it would stand out pretty obviously, but it didn't.
Yep.
The killer whales also are a pretty good clue. The orcas don't travel up that far north. They do like the Vancouver, BC area, and 5,000 points for Patriots as he finishes off very quickly, of course, because not that difficult. And you start at intersection again. Closed, though, going to take his time. So, yeah, the environment looks a lot like that greater Pacific Northwest. So
it actually looks really nice.
Oh, it is, of all the places I've lived, it's probably one of my favorite. It rivals Kyoto, where I live now. It rains a lot, not the sunniest of places, but it is green and very beautiful, and lots of good outdoors hiking and whatnot. So
sounds perfect.
If you're looking for a place to live, definitely check out Vancouver, BC, or Washington, Oregon State. Not bad. And I've heard like there's some places in Oregon and Vancouver, BC that have unbelievable internet. So you don't have to even worry about that. So unfortunately for Patriots, though, an ace for Closed as well, which means he seals the victory with 23,062 points versus 22,758. So he managed to climb back a little bit, but in the end, some pretty easy rounds as well as a repeat prevent him from really being able to climb too far back up Calamity.
Yeah, I assume he'll be mostly annoyed about the repeat location because, well, you can't really be blamed for Greenland. But that one definitely, he should have had that, and that should have been a win for him. But it wasn't. So last 2 weeks are going to be exciting. Probably more exciting for him than he would have liked.
Yeah, definitely. Close, making sure that gap, those leaders don't run away with it. And that the last few weeks are going to matter a whole lot for all those people trying to get promoted out of Division 3. Well, if you don't want to miss this race for the battle for the promotion slots, hit that subscribe and bell button to make sure you'll catch every video we have here on the channel. We'll try to bring you as many as we can. We're really trying to encourage our players to record because, again, we're down to that point where every match matters, and it is quite exciting to watch how it unfolds in front of our very eyes. So we'll see you then. Take care.
Bye.